Hey, what is going on? This is your stimulus check daily updated information. The question really comes down to this, is that every state received 380 billion, or close to 380 billion total was sent out to each state. Individually, each state got different amounts. California got 30 billion, Texas got 30 billion, and then New Mexico, I think, got 1.8 billion. So it's based on the amount of people that live in that area got the stimulus funds. These funds have to be distributed by December 31st. And if they don't, I think they have to give it back to the federal. I know these states, they don't want to send that money back to the federal government, so I think they're trying to figure out what kind of program they can set up to give out stimulus to those people in that area. Also, there is a jobs report that just came out that could have a different impact on the stimulus going forward. A couple of the Democrats aren't real happy with the $3.5 trillion stimulus plan that, or the budget plan that Nancy Pelosi is trying to put together. They think it's too much. They think it's too broad. It's too big. It's a huge government spending bill, and some Democrats say it's great. Some say it's not. Some of them want more stimulus out to people, and some of them want some type of universal basic income. So they have this wide variety of what they want as far as going and getting more money out to people. Now, there's already been 3 stimulus packages, and these stimulus were trying to get people to go out there and spend it, try to get it in the economy, trying to get people to move forward as far as moving that checks and getting those out so people can recover and get that recovery going. I personally think that a lot of the stimulus was maybe too much, and there was just too much going on. I think they should just let the businesses open back up, let the economy grow, let people go back to work, and then things like that. If you pay people to stay home, then the economy is going to suffer a little bit. So if they let people go out there and get more checks, then it might have a hindrance on getting the economy back. Now, the jobs report that came in recently wasn't that great. In fact, 235 jobs in August were just added. And I think there's close to 10 million different jobs available. So there's 10 million spots of jobs that are available. Only 235 jobs were actually created in the month of August. And this was down from the projected 720 increase. So that's a pretty big drop. Now, the unemployment rate did drop from 5.2% to 5.4%. So could that have an impact on stimulus moving forward? Well, the reason why the stimulus was happening is because the whole economy was not moving. It was not going anywhere. So they're trying to get people those checks and get those checks out to everybody. There is the lead of Democrats in Congress. So when Congress has a lead, they're going to try to put all kinds of different packages in there that's going to obviously benefit those that need it the most. They're trying to increase a lot of the food stamps, a lot of the programs that are happening right now. And if they can get some type of reoccurring payment in there, then the only time they're going to be able to do that is right now when the Democrats have control of both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Now, the 4th stimulus check, there is a big demand for it. It says Democrat lawmakers recently proposed legislation that would hand over reoccurring checks or guaranteed income with monthly payments of up to $1,200 for adults and $600 for children. However, there was no timeline given on if and when the legislation would be considered or how long it would take to implement the new programs if the bills were approved. Ilhan Omar, I believe, of Minnesota, she has this Support Act. This is the $1,200 payments that people are looking for on a reoccurring payment. They have to get this passed, some type of reoccurring income like this, in order for payments to go out without Congress meeting up and trying to figure something out. Now, while parents are used to receive $2,000 checks, the Treasury is sending out $3,600 checks for families with kids. So if you have 4 or 5 kids, you're going to benefit pretty good with this stimulus packages. If you don't have children, that's where I think the reoccurring payments are going to be coming into down the road if they can get this guaranteed income set up. But $1,200 payments and $600 payments would be the reoccurring payment if they can get this passed. Ilhan Omar, she's in Minnesota. If she can get her Support Act passed, then it'll be good. That'll allow people to get those monthly payments. There are monthly payments going out now on the 15th of every month. July 15th, August 15th, September 15th is coming up next. That's going to be a $300 check for kids under 6, and then $250 for kids between 6 and 17. So that's going to be at least helpful for those that do have children. I think in this $3.5 trillion package that the Congress is trying to pass, they want to extend out the American Families Plan. Nancy Pelosi wants to get she's calling it the Build Back Better Act. That's the new that's the new slogan for her new program. She's trying to get this set up to where the American Families Plan extends a lot of the program. She's trying to get the unemployment maybe to extend out through December. She wants to try to get the child tax credit to extend out through the year 2025. Maybe get some of the other programs in there. Maybe a possibility of a monthly check, of a $1,200 check or a $600 check. That's a possibility. It could happen, but I don't know if they're going to try to sneak it in there or if they're going to try to rally up to try to get more stimulus out in this new package. But $3.5 trillion stimulus is just absolutely insane, the amount of money they're going to have to print and borrow in order to get that bill passed. So I'm not really sure what state you're in, but the deadline is December 31st for the states to distribute the money, the stimulus money, and they're trying to find all kinds of creative ways to. California really is leading the way on stimulus. So every state received money, and if they haven't already set up a program to send out stimulus, it's going to come down to the last couple months of this to try to get more stimulus out. I think I see a lot of new states coming up and figuring out what kind of program they're going to send more money. But Colorado, they're sending $375 out to everybody. Anybody that had a one unemployment payment, they're going to get a $375. Maryland is sending out $500 for families and $300 for individuals. These are the people that earned income tax credit on their filings in Maryland. And then New Mexico has $5 million set aside out of the $1.8 billion, if you can believe it. That's not a whole lot of money, but they're going to be sending out $720 checks to about 4,000 people in New Mexico. Now, Florida, they're going to be doing a lot more than what a lot of the other states are doing. They're going to be giving $1,000 checks to teachers and administrators in the state. Plus, they're adding in the frontline workers, EMT. They're also adding in police, firemen, all that. They're going to be getting a $1,000 bonus stimulus payment in the state of Florida. Georgia, they're going to be sending out $1,000 payments for teachers and then $500 for part-time teachers. Michigan has already sent out $500 hazard pay. New York, they have a $2.1 billion fund set aside for undocumented workers for stimulus. Tennessee is going to be sending out $1,000 payments to teachers. Texas, one of the big cities, is Irvine. They're going to be sending $2,000 payments to try to entice the teachers to get back to work. West Virginia, looks like about 7,700 people have not claimed their checks for the child tax credit. So this is the list of the states right now. I have not seen any more states coming out and trying to get more stimulus. I try to encourage people, if you can, go to your governors or legislation and let them know that they have money in the Treasury. They should turn around and give stimulus out to everybody in that state. Right now, you have California Governor Gavin Newsom. He faces a recall. There was enough votes to try to get him out. And if you live in California, you might have a new governor soon. But also, if you live in California, you're going to be getting a $600 check if you do qualify for this. $75,000 per year or less, you get a $600 payment, and then you get a $500 for dependents. This is the second check. The first check went out to those that made under $30,000 per year. If you already got a check for the first time, they don't double up and not giving you another check. It's just they bump the requirements up to get the check, and that's how they're sending those payments out. So again, you'll see that Gavin Newsom, he either gets recalled or he stays as governor, but either way, $600 payments are going out in the state of California right now, and that is good news for those. So I think California is leading the way on stimulus and trying to get more payments out. Again, most of these states, they have till December 31st to come up with some kind of plan to get more payments out. And if they can do it right, they should do what California did and just go ahead and take that big budget they got from the federal government, turn around and spend that money out. Now, one of the things that might be coming up is Democratic Joe Manchin. He is a Democrat, and he has told Congress to maybe put a pause on this $3.5 trillion stimulus package. Now this is important because he is in the Senate. They have 51 votes. It's basically a split between Republicans and Democrats. Kamala Harris is the split vote. She's the time vote, so they do have 51 votes in the Senate. But if Joe Manchin, he is a senator in the Senate, he is a Democratic senator. If he doesn't vote for a bill, then that means the Democrats don't have enough votes, and so it's gonna come tough. And he's always been the one that's kind of not wanting to do these large stimulus. These big stimulus, $3.5 trillion. I mean, it's just like they just think, oh, we'll just write a check and then there won't be any consequences of it. But the people that get hurt the most are those that are on fixed incomes, those that don't have a ton of savings, those that aren't invested, those that live paycheck to paycheck. Those are the ones that get hurt because they now have to go to the store and have to buy things with less dollars purchasing power. So that's who it hurts the most. I mean, they think they're helping the American people, but they're actually hurting the American people by creating these giant stimulus packages and just creating the money and put it out in the economy. Just the inflation on this is just absolutely insane. Milk is whatever a gallon of milk is. Let's say it's $6. Well, if you keep spending $5 trillion every year, that milk is going to be $15, $20. So who does that hurt? It hurts the people that that are fixed income, that aren't invested, that aren't understanding how to take your money invested. Invested into things like crypto or other kind of stocks and dividend stocks and things like. There's a lot of good dividend stocks if you wanted to take your stimulus check and get it into. So let me show you a couple examples. So Deere, it's like John Deere, the manufacturing for equipment. They are going to be giving a quarterly dividend, 70% raise to $1.50 per share. So that means for whatever shares you have in that company, they're going to be giving you a dividend for that. So it's a monthly dividend and a yearly dividend. But what that does is it adds more money to your, basically, if you have amount of money that's in those shares, you get that money added on to your balance. Altria, it's another stock that you can jump onto. They're going to be bumping their dividend stocks up. And there's another one, which is Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. They're also going to be doing a lot of good stock dividend give outs. A lot of the dividend stocks are good because you put the money in there, and then if you have enough money in there, it's going to continue to grow. It's going to grow with the value of the stock, and it's also going to add to your balance by giving you back a dividend payment. I think Warren Buffett, he just makes crazy amounts of money with just dividend stocks that he has bought over the years. So these are three good ones you can put your stimulus check into, and you can get paid very well if you just let them sit and hold. You can use places like E-Trade. It's a great platform to go and pick up stocks. E-Trade is really good. Robinhood and some of the other ones, I don't know if you can buy a full stock and get dividends at Robinhood. I haven't really seen that yet, but I know places like E-Trade, you're going to get the dividend payment back to you. If you have any questions about stimulus, drop those questions in the comments. So this is your daily stimulus check update information for today.